Sir, you're one of the few senators who are adept in using the internet. How does it help you in your personal life as well as your responsibilities as a public figure?
Well, the internet has really changed not only my life, but everyone's life. No? What was previously so difficult to obtain, what was previously so difficult to undertake, has now been made so much easier because of the internet. I think that one cannot really underestimate the impact of the internet on everyone's life and how it continues to impact everyone's life. Now, in fact, what was appropriate internet activity, the level of activity and the kind of activities that one undertook, say 3-5 years ago, is now so much different for today. For example, there was the blog, and now you have the microblog through Flickr, where it's almost like instant messaging, and so on and so
Twitter,
forth.
sir?
Twitter, yeah, which is like almost instant messaging, and in that way you can see that as the internet evolves, as the technology evolves, people will adapt accordingly. So internet has really, let me just say, internet has been a game changer. It has changed the way that people live their lives, the way people make money and earn money, the way it has brought the world together, the way one can now communicate with large numbers of people that heretofore were so very difficult before. So internet has really been a paradigm shift for everyone.
As a legislator, sir, how do you use the internet? Aside from your official website, how else do you use it?
Well, I mean, mostly for research. I scan a few websites or pages of news organizations, of universities, of other public personas who may have issued a pronouncement or two on a particular issue I'm interested in. I could be reading on something that strikes my interest. For example, I was just rereading about chaos theory the other evening, brought about by an article I read about the death of the person who had first written about chaos theory and the flapping of the butterfly's wings in the Brazilian Amazon, leading to a thunderstorm in Western Europe, and so on and so forth. So this really is a way that I use. It's really quite enjoyable. It's not what originally begins as serious research, then goes into some sort of intellectual adventure where you uncover information and anecdotes and insights and observations about the world and humans and the way we live, and it's really quite enjoyable.
Sir, you also tapped the internet in your campaign run for Senate in 2007. What encouraged you to do so, and how did it help you during your campaign and then after?
Well, there's a community out there, let's call it the digital community, that is more likely to open a website or to obtain their information or their daily diet of news through the net versus through the newspapers or through radio or TV. So really the ability to communicate with them and to convey my program for government and what my hopes and dreams are for the country through the net was an additional avenue for me to access them.
Sir, apart from your Friendster, Multiply, and Facebook accounts, actually you're one of the few senators who has that. You have your own personal blog, and if you were to use your personal blog, how do you update it?
Well, on any given day, I have thoughts or observations. Being a public figure, I edit it quite closely and rigorously before I put it out there. But it's really a way of just providing a view to someone who reads it about the way I see things from where I sit. Sometimes as a senator, you're given the opportunity to have a what I call a satellite view. No? I mean, you see the big picture, you see the macro, you're able to go to the micro of a particular situation, but see how one situation, a solution in one way, affects so many others, some intended, some unintended, and so, and by giving that perspective through my blog, the readers are able to see a view that they otherwise would not see. I'll give you a specific example. when Typhoon Frank hit Western Visayas, shortly thereafter, I would together with the Vice President De Castro, we rode a C-130 plane, to bring relief goods to Iloilo and Aklan and Capiz. We left Villamor Air Base at about 5 o'clock. And so, you're in one of those like twilight awarenesses. You're awake, you're physically there, but your mind is still sort of floating wherever it may be. And the plane takes off and it drones off. And I see these sergeants who are the crew of the airplane. The pilot and co-pilot are officers, but everybody else is a sergeant, staff sergeant. And so you get to a conversation with them, and it's like this person has been a staff sergeant for 17 years. He takes home about 18,000 pesos a month, and yet he is in charge of an aircraft that is worth millions of dollars, and he